Well, it's about time for us to review this show. Yep, I've been waiting to review this show for you guys. A long time ago, and by a long time ago, I mean a couple years ago, I reviewed the original Adventure Time TV show. Yep, I reviewed that. It's been a while since I reviewed that show. In fact, I'll probably end up putting it in the description if you guys want to check it out. I will say it's outdated because, the quality's outdated because I was recording the TV still at that time. I didn't know how to capture stuff, but I don't really want to redo the videos again, so I'm kind of just leaving them be. But yeah, I've done a review on the original Adventure Time show, so if you guys want to check out that, you guys can. But in this show, we are going to be reviewing Fionna and Cake. Yep, we're going to be reviewing this show. Now, I'm going to be doing things a little bit different. I'm going to be reviewing not just one, but 2 seasons. So I'll talk about the first season and the second season. The reason why I am doing it like this is because, I'm doing it like this because, there's not that many episodes. There's like 20 episodes total. And all that, and I figured, why not review them, both separate and see kind of where I, go from there on what I think of the show as a whole. So we're going to be doing that. But yeah, make sure you guys are subscribed to my channel. Hit the notification bell. Make sure you guys are still subscribed. And I am also on, Instagram/Threads and X, so you can follow me on there, which was formerly known as Twitter, but you guys can follow me on there. And, let's go ahead and get into this. Let's go ahead and talk about this. So, as I stated, I actually, have been wanting to review this show for a while, but haven't got around to doing it. A lot of things have been going on, behind the scenes. And we had Season 2 coming out last year, so I didn't want to review the show last year either, And it actually was coming out around the holidays when things were crazy. So, in fact, I think they were releasing one episode per week. So I think if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure the final episode of Season 2 ended on, Christmas Day. I don't know if that's a coincidence, or they actually were intended to end it like that, but that is still insane. That's still crazy. That actually happened. But yeah, so that's pretty interesting. But we're going to talk about Season 1 first, and then we'll talk about Season 2. Season 1, So Season 1 is interesting because it actually talks about what has Simon in it. Simon is in it and all that, and apparently he is very depressed, because, he doesn't have his wife anymore. And he lives in a world, where everything is magical and fictional and all that. Because, before he put on the crown, the world was completely different. So it makes sense for him to kind of be, all depressed and weirded out by all this stuff. And all of that. And I will say, too, with this, having Simon, apparently throughout the entire show, or like, at least this season here, he, he regrets putting on the crown, or not regrets it, I mean, he wants to put on the crown again, because he feels like he was happier as the Ice King, which I'm just like, I mean, I feel like that's kind of stupid, I'm not gonna lie, that doesn't make any sense, like, why the hell would he want to do that again? I'm like, he didn't want, like, he spent the entire show last time not wanting to do that. I think that's a little bit strange. Like, I mean, him, reacting to the way he does with the world, that's one thing. But him wanting to put on the crown again, I don't know. I feel like maybe I was missing something there, but I don't know. I was watching through the show and all that, and I couldn't figure out exactly why he wanting to do it again exactly, but I mean, I do know he eventually runs into Fionna and Cake, and by runs into him, I mean they literally go through his freaking head. Yeah, apparently there's a world that's inside his head. So all those Fionna and Cake books, it turns out it was a real world. It was inside his head. Apparently Prismo, put them inside of his head, or put them inside of his head, because he wanted to create his own, universe. But yeah, he wanted to create his own universe, so he, stored, him in Simon's head, so he wouldn't get in trouble for doing so, and, apparently Simon, activated, his portal in his head, and apparently Cake went in there. So it's really weird, seeing all that, and just like, it's interesting. But yeah, he wants to like help Fionna and Cake get their world back by finding a crown throughout the dimensions. So that's kind of the reason he wants to do it, but still kind of feels kind of stupid of him to do that, but, but I don't know, but, but I'm just saying, but, her world gets, unmagicked because the Ice King becomes Simon again, but, I don't know, I just think that's kind of strange, but, I don't know, but yeah, there's quite a bit of stuff. Like, we get to see multiple universes and all that. We get to see a farm universe. We get to see, a farm universe. We see, a universe with, we see, like a universe, I think, like a vampire universe, where, like, Marceline apparently, becomes like the vampire king's daughter and all that, because in that dimension, that world, Simon was already dead, so it's kind of weird to see that and all that. So yeah, there's like universes like that and all that, and it's pretty cool, so, I mean, we see a bunch of different stuff. We also have, like, a bounty hunter-ish villain kind of tracking him down, too. I mean, he's not a bounty hunter, like, he's not being paid to do this stuff, but he kind of acts like a bounty hunter, he kind of acts like one, like, he constantly goes throughout the dimensions trying to, like, hunt down Fionna and Cake and, Simon and all that, trying to execute him. It's kind of crazy to see that. Yeah, so there's a lot going on in Season 1. There's a lot going on. There's even at one point where apparently, Simon, actually goes into another world where he becomes, his soul gets put inside of, this, creature, which was revealed in the final episode of Adventure Time, which was the original series. And, he gets trapped, inside someone's body, but I will say to me, that's kind of confusing. It kind of confuses me because, like, I'm like, why are they, like, I don't know, like, some of this stuff's confusing, you know, like, why are, like, they in their own universe, like, didn't it reveal in that episode that it took a place in the future, you know? Like, it revealed that, you know, they were in the future. I mean, I guess it could be a whole another world, you know? Maybe that's what it could be. I don't know, it just seems kind of weird, to have all that, like, Farm World Finn makes sense and all that, the Farm World, and so that makes more sense, but, you know, but this one didn't make much sense to me, but, I don't know, because, like I said, the finale of Adventure Time took place, you know, like it 1,000 years in the future, and it had B-Mode telling the story of, you know, the epic war and stuff like that went on. But yeah, it's pretty nice, you know, just to see all that. But there, like I said, there's a lot going on, and we also get to see in Fiona's and Cake's world, you know, Marshall and I don't know the gumball, I forgot his name, but they fall in love, you know, kind of like Marceline and, you know, Princess Bubblegum do in real life, in Finn's world, you know. It's kind of interesting. There's a whole bunch of stuff like that. Like I said, there's just constant, like, you know, good things and all that out of you know, in a lot of cases. I'm gonna say this one, in my opinion, definitely deserves a good. And then we're also gonna be giving it 120 points. Yep. This is not only getting 120 points in a good, but, well, it's getting 120 points in a good, making this officially a good season. Yep, this is definitely a very good season of this show. I definitely really like it. It sucks that, you know, it was like 10 episodes long, but that seems to be kind of what they're doing anymore on streaming and stuff. Like, I have absolutely no reason or no idea why, but yeah, they're doing that. They're doing a lot, like making shows a lot shorter with seasonal stuff and all that. Like, it's kind of confusing, but I mean, some shows are getting more episodes, you know, but it's just still kind of, you know, feels like it doesn't make much sense in a way with that, but I don't know. I mean, like, the new Fairly Odd Parents show, like, the new one that sadly got canceled by Nickelodeon, because, of course, they canceled an actual good show, you know, like that actually, you know, was received not pretty good. You know, it got canceled, which, by the way, on Netflix, for some reason, they were hinting at it being there was a new season coming out, but apparently, it was not a new season. Netflix basically lied to you, and it just ended up splitting the episodes up into 10, kind of like this. So, yeah, it seems like the streaming services definitely are making seasons shorter, but I don't know. But we're gonna go ahead, I guess, and move on to the next episode, the next season now, because I've got more to say about season 2, which I'll kind of talk a bit about season 1, but I want to get to season 2 here. One thing I didn't bring up in season 1, I probably should have just brought that up when I was talking about season 1 there, is, season 1 actually has a different intro than season 2. I like season 1's better. I think it's a lot better. But season 2 actually brings back Huntress Wizard. Yep, we get Huntress Wizard back. We get her back. So it's nice to see her again. We had hints of her, or I think like mentions and stuff in the last season. I think even Finn mentioned he was staying with Huntress Wizard, but we didn't actually, you know, see her. We didn't get to see her at all. You know, so now in this season we actually get to see her. Because apparently Finn is in trouble. Finn is in trouble, and, apparently, he's in trouble because he got attacked by a bear in season 1 and all that, and, she's trying to go save him and all that. While we have the other characters doing kind of a similar thing and all that. They're trying to help Finn out, too. I'm gonna say this, though, although I like seeing, Huntress Wizard and all that return and all that, I kind of liked having the Ice King, or I guess Simon, being in the original show. Like Simon, being there and all that. Because they kind of just like, because the problem is with that, I feel like, Simon should be part of this show too. Unfortunately, though, they kind of, pushed him aside a bit to focus more on a Huntress Wizard. And Huntress Wizard, it's nice and all, but I kind of would have liked, Simon to play more of a role in this show, in this season as well. Like, maybe he could have traveled to the other world to help him out. But, especially because, they're his creations, or I guess they're, again, Prismo's creations, but seeing, them without, because, it was a big part of the Ice King, / Simon's mind. So seeing, Simon not there with them, as much, it kind of does feel off. Now, something else that's kind of strange about this season, too, is this is kind of what happened in the last season, too. So, which I also wanted to mention that in the last season, too, but I didn't think about that. But apparently, Prismo's voice actor, voice actor, actually reprised his role in this season, which I think he was absent in the last season. I'm pretty sure it was a different voice actor. I can't remember. But this time around, now we have Huntress Wizard's voice actor was swapped out. I'm not sure if the other voice actor was busy with something else or what. Now, technically, Huntress Wizard has been voiced by a few different actors, but she started playing more of a role in towards the seasonal finale of the show. So she started playing. They started giving her more screen time, for Finn's more. They hooked up Finn and her together and all that, because in the original show they really were having a rough time, like figuring out what to do with freaking Finn, and his relationships and all that. Like, in fact, it probably created one of the worst received episodes in the entire show. By the way, with him and Flame Princess and all that, and then him breaking off and all that. Now, I couldn't really tell you, my total thoughts on the episode because I haven't seen it in a long time. I do remember it, but not like extreme, any details and all that. But yeah, I remember it kind of ruining Finn's, character there a little bit, which of course that would piss people off, and all that. But I can't say if it's like the worst episode either or not, because I haven't really watched the show in a long time. It's been years. Cause I did it that one time when I reviewed the show, but I haven't watched it in a long time, so I don't really, remember all the episodes on top of my head. I'm sure if I watched it, I probably would, but I think if any of the seasons stick out, I think it's more so, like season 3 and all that kind of sticks out. I haven't really watched a lot of the other seasons. I guess maybe season 10 might stick out too, but I don't know. But yeah, I don't know, but But yeah, that's just kind of crazy. But yeah, they did a lot in that show. So yeah. But yeah, I will say I do really like Huntress Wizard, his voice actor. Even though I like the other one better a little bit, I still don't mind this voice actor. She still sounds pretty good. She sounds like she's still, enjoying the role and stuff like that. But now that I kind of talked about kind of the positives, unfortunately this season is lacking a bit compared to the first season. Like, it's lacking a lot. And I feel like it really, really drags out a lot. Like, I don't really like how it needs to cut back and forth from, Finn, to, like, Huntress Wizard. I mean, doing it, sometimes was okay, but, like, speaking of, Finn, with the love stuff and all that, and, like, they literally have a freaking scene, like, it's like a Sleeping Beauty knockoff scene or something like that, like, where they have, like, all the princesses, coming and kissing Finn, trying to wake him up from his, coma. He's in a coma because, of what happened. And all that. And apparently, basically, it basically leads, the whole scene, just feels like it kind of drags out a little bit. I mean, I like seeing all the princesses again and all that, but I'm like, we didn't need that. And of course, we have to have, Flame Princess come, too. And all that. And, I think the scene, I think they were trying to, like, I don't know, I think maybe the writers were trying to, like, make a funny, like, Sleeping Beauty reference or something like that. But it's not that funny. Like, it's not funny at all. Like, it's not funny. It just feels like it just feels like it's pointless and all that. And then that's the problem. It's like they're trying to, like, save Finn and all that. Like, but again, I'm like, Huntress Wizard is trying to save him. Save him. So I'm just like, I don't get it. Like, I don't really get it. It's just like I think they put way too much focus on Huntress Wizard. And yeah, I will say, I do like Huntress Wizard as a character, and I do like, we get more of her past, which is really nice. Like, we see her childhood and all that, seeing her, her, like, relatives that pass away. It's actually very heartbreaking to watch at times, because, what happened, but, because they passed away when she was, like, really young, but I feel like we needed, like, Simon in there and all that, because I hated that they kept cutting back and forth, like, but of course, they also were, like, Huntress Wizard, trying to, like, do everything on her own, so I guess they're trying to have Huntress Wizard, learn to work with other people, and try to, like, instead of trying to do everything on her own, but that's the problem. That's the problem. That's what they do. That's what they do. They basically go back and forth like that. And I like the whole point of Huntress Wizard, going to that other world was to do that. It just makes everything kind of get dragged out a little bit. Another thing I don't really like too is I don't really like that Fiona and Fiona. For the most part, I will say this, Fiona, I think, for the most part, is actually, not a terrible character, but I feel like she's kind of gone down a bit, like, in the last season, she's worried about, the fact that she might be, she's worried about, hurting people and all that, or like which, gives her, makes her depressed. But I feel like, at the end of that season, the first season, they kind of, do that, like she saves her home and all that, and then they kind of go back, they go backwards with it, and all that, and I kind of hate that, and like she's trying to help save this sweet spot and all that too, and it's just nice, not as interesting, it's like she's trying to save their sweet spot from this, I guess it's supposed to be like the King of Ooh, but a female version of this one, which I'm not gonna lie, the female design of this character does not look the best, if that's the case, because she looks very small and all that, and she doesn't really, have, I guess they don't really they don't really need the same personalities and all that, because, I feel like if they had the same personalities, then the characters wouldn't stand out as much, but, like, she just looks a lot, like, she's a lot shorter and all that, but she did appear in, like, the first season as well, like, I think she was on the bus or something, I can't remember. So she played, some, roles in it, but in this season they focus on her a lot more, which is, interesting and all that, but, yeah, there's a lot of stuff there too, it's really interesting, but yeah, basically though, yeah, I don't know, I'm trying to like think about what else to say, I don't know, I guess I will point this out too, we also get to see a female version of Firm in this season too. I think we actually saw her in the background in the last season, but this time they actually focus on her more, which is really interesting. I kind of like that. We get to see, a female version of, Fiona, Fiona's, clone, Firm, which is, not Firm in this case, I forgot, I don't remember her name, but yeah, I think she's a really interesting, character and all that, but she has this relationship with, like, DJ Flame and all that, which is, like, the male version of Flame Princess, Apparently it reveals to, and when they were doing the kiss scene, that she's seen somebody else, but I was thinking maybe it was Cinnamon Bun, but I was also thinking, like, well, we get this, hint here and all that, but no, I think, because apparently we do actually see the actual Fern in the actual show. Yeah, we actually get to see him. Apparently he's in the, in a different realm and all that, like, I guess he got, like, by the cosmic, like, crimes or something like that, he got sentenced down there, which I don't really understand, like, yeah, he did some bad things because of jealousy, but he redeemed himself at the end of this, the specials. I don't know why he would be down there with the worm and all that, which apparently it's because the cosmic owl apparently has a brother, I guess, so, there's that too, there's more on that in a second. I do want to state, though, that, I was going to talk about, the female, Firm, though. Basically, there is, like, one episode where apparently they both take, like, there's, like, drug jokes and all that, and they go into, like, this fantasy where they fly up, and we both see them in their uniforms, which I gotta say, I like their uniforms, like, it's really nice. Like, I like seeing that a lot, it's pretty nice. And the actress who plays, the female Firm, too, sorry if I'm saying it like that, I don't remember her name. But basically, she does a really good job sounding kind of like Firm, because Firm talked with kind of a chill like accent, or a chill voice, the actor kind of did that. So it's kind of interesting to see that. Like, I don't know if that was a coincidence or if they actually were planning that, I don't know. But yeah, apparently they never went to space, so it was all in their head and all that, and, I think it's kind of, well, I'm not gonna lie, I think the whole thing, with the drugs and stuff, I don't know, it's not really that funny of a joke, but I guess it does lead to, like, something. I don't know, the jokes are not really usually the best, but, I guess they're better than Family Guy's. Family Guy's freaking drug jokes are terrible. Like, they're just terrible. And they look very disturbing, too. At least here they don't make them disturbing looking, Like, like the characters, like, eyes all pink and all that, like they do in Family Guy. God, that looks terrible. I mean, yeah, so at least it looks better here, like, so that's nice, But yeah, that's probably her biggest role, I think. But she does, have more screen time, which is nice. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of, like I said, there's a lot of going on in this season. But I do have a lot of problems with it though, as well. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and just give it a score and get it out of the way. So we're going to give it a good. Giving it 85 points. Yep, 85 points. That's definitely a very low, like a lot lower score than the other one. The other one was really good. But that's because like I said, there are good things in this season, but there are a lot of problems, a lot of pacing problems between the back and forth stuff going on. Fiona is I kind of feel like I don't hate her as bad as other people, because she does have her moments, but I just think she can be kind of aggravating at times. There's also some other stuff we don't really get. Like, we don't really get, they're revealing that Prismo's powers are not working. And we don't really get a reveal on that. We don't get a reveal on that, like why his powers aren't working. His powers apparently aren't working, though, and all that, but I've seen people get mad at Fiona, for, like, also putting the blame on them, because they killed Cosmic Owl. And by they, I mean Huntress Wizard killed Cosmic Owl. Which, honestly, I wouldn't think Huntress Wizard wouldn't think she would do something like that, but I don't know. But yeah, that happened as well. So we get more like side stories with this one, and I mean we get more backstories, which backstories are nice. They do give you the lore to characters. I mean, not every character always needs a backstory, but but it's still nice to kind of have and all that, to have a backstory, But yeah, that part with the whole framing Finn thing, I don't know. I don't know. I think that was more so. I don't remember. I think they were doing that to stall time or something. I don't remember. I don't remember what they did that for, but I don't know. It was technically again Huntress Wizard's fault for doing that, but. Yeah, I don't know. I definitely think it's definitely a bit weaker. Heck, even the villains. Like, there's not even a villain, really, in this season. There's, like, not even a villain, Which, is really, interesting. I mean, we have, the bear at the beginning, but she, like, barely does anything, and, apparently, she was revealed at the end to be all trapped and all that, and, all messed up. And apparently, even though she hates Huntress Wizard, she still, helps her anyway. I figured like they should have gave Huntress Wizard a saying or something, like she could have been like, you could eat like if you don't save, if you don't help me out, you'll end up dying or something like that, because she was dying, she was falling apart and all that, but instead of doing that, she just randomly wants to help her. Like, it felt like it was very rushed and all that. There are, like I said, there are like it's like hit or miss. Like I said, there are a lot of things I like about this season and a lot of things I don't. I think the goods are still good, but the bads are still kind of bad, but not, severely bad. One thing I will say too, I wish that we like Princess Bubblegum or somebody was, I don't remember who it was, was hinting at Finn, one of Finn's greatest relatives or something like that, coming, like possibly hinting at Martin, Finn's dad, coming. But that never actually comes to be. Which, if you guys haven't watched the show, which, if you guys haven't, I don't know why you're watching this, because this would be, after the show, but, basically, for people who, I guess, are watching this and don't, care about spoilers and just watching it for fun, so Martin was, Finn's deadbeat dad and all that. Apparently it revealed that he had a head injury and, kind of forgot who he was and became a con artist. I think that's what they are, con artists. They steal stuff and all that, and he became a really shitty character. Like, I really hated him, but I might do a story kind of talking about him down the road, but yeah, he actually does appear in the first season too. A different version of him does. He's actually a lot nicer of a guy, which is interesting too. Of course, he gets killed off too really quickly, where the other one, survives a long time. Even when somebody in one of the comments on one of the videos I've watched, this stuff, pointed that out. But yeah, it's kind of true. But yeah, it is sad to see, him not hinting at it, like it's teasing, like it's gonna be a thing, and it's not. But I will say, another thing I will say about this season I like, though, is also if we finally get to see Huntress Wizard actually kiss Finn. Like, we actually see them make out. Like, they actually make out. And I love that. I love that we get to see them make out. Because after such a long period of time, I guess to be fair, like, they were considered a couple at the end of the last series, but because they've kind of teased at this so many times, because, we've had, Princess Bubblegum, relationship with Finn, then we had Flame Princess and all that, and then, we had this character, and then the show kind of ended. I wasn't sure what they were going to do, but it's confirmed that they're actually a couple now, too, so that's nice. That's nice. I really like that a lot. I really do. That brought tears to my, eyes. Well, I wouldn't say tears, but, because I didn't cry. Let's just say I was very happy. Very, very excited and very happy to see it. Very happy. It was beautiful to see this happening. Because we've all been waiting so long for this moment, and then they finally do it. So that's good. But yeah, at this point, I think, I don't know, Adventure Time has pretty much covered, I think pretty much, like, I think at this point, they have covered everything. Like, there are still a couple of questions that are really not answered, like I mentioned, like Martin, like, are they ever going to find out, like, why Martin became, a selfish, deadbeat dad? Like, or like, like, will we see, what happened to Jake? Because, they've kind of been teasing at that, like, that they showed, like, a glimpse at, like, they showed a glimpse of it at, distant lands. I mean, well, we know what happened to Jake, but we don't know why why he, passed away. We don't know why that happened, but because they never show it, which is very weird, because in the same episode, and all, they, which is, they kind of, reunite and all that, because, and all that. But it's never actually, showcased and all, because, I mean, I guess in that episode too, that would actually take place way later, but most of these episodes, like, that's probably, like, I think that episode might be the one that takes place, probably, like, it's probably the second furthest, I think, in the future. I don't know. Actually, I would say, I don't know. There's a couple episodes that take place in the future, but this one kind of does that too. But I don't know. There's a lot of that stuff going on, but yeah. I mean, it's a pretty, interesting special too. But I'll probably review it down the road for you guys too. But I'm trying to think if there's anything else. There is one thing I want to point out, and I want to point this out in this video. And this is actually something I wanted to wait until I was talking about season 2 here, because the Lich actually makes a cameo in season 2 here. He actually, apparently Jake is, like, jumping on him. For some reason he's squeaking like a toy or something, which is kind of weird. So yeah, it's kind of funny seeing a baby Lich and all that in the baby world. That's actually pretty funny. But apparently though, in the last season we see the Lich again too. We see him again too. And actually, he plays kind of a big role there, because he, in the one episode, because he kills all life. He kills all life and all that, So he finally exceeds in his goals, and apparently he is unsatisfied with his goals. I mean, at that point, I'm like, if you kill everything, what are you gonna do afterwards, Like, there's nothing you can do. I guess he was trying to, please, Golb or Betty Golb or something like that. So I guess Golb's like his master or something like that. I don't know. It's kind of weird. I would say Golb I think Golb is pretty powerful. I don't know. Both Golb and the Lich are very powerful. I actually don't know which one's worse. I mean, both of them are bad. I mean, yeah, the Golb, destroyed the Lich, but, the Lich is also a pretty powerful being, too. He survived many things, so I'm just saying the Lich, is pretty unstoppable, but, what makes the Lich, the reason why I'm bringing up the Lich, too, is apparently the Lich. So Lich, I believe, has made at least a cameo in every season of the show. And even Fionna and Cake, he has made at least one appearance. I could be wrong. There could be a season he has not appeared in, but I'm pretty sure the Lich has appeared. Like, I'm pretty sure he has appeared, I think, at least once in every season. But I could be wrong. I don't know. I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure he's appeared at least once every season. So that's actually very crazy, too. That's another coincidence that I'm not sure if they actually intended or not for him to appear. Well, I'm sure, like, later down the road, they definitely made him a cameo, but I don't know if early on they were planning on it or not. I don't know. They were kind of just wanting to throw him in there or something like that, but yeah, he like appears in like a Vision or a Flash back or something like that. He'll appear like pretty much every season, but it's sad though his roles are very limited. Like he usually only has a little bit of screen time when he's on there. I kind of wish they did more with him, but they don't really do that, which kind of sucks. But I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I could be wrong. Like I said, he may not appear in every season, but I'm pretty sure he does. I don't know. I mean, I'll probably be reviewing some episodes down the road of the original series, just some individual ones. I might even do this show too. I might do this show for you guys too. But I figured it'd be easier to review these two seasons separated because yeah, it makes the video longer like this, but I mean, there's not really a lot to kind of talk about, and I'm talking about both of them, kind of comparing the two seasons together. I feel like doing it like this made more sense. I did forget though one last thing. I'm hoping this is the last thing. There is a tease at the end of season 2, and which makes me think they are going to make a season 3. Of course, if the Paramount and Warner Brothers merger does not destroy it, because they might have to make a bunch of cuts. Honestly, it'd be really stupid of them to cut this, but I mean, we're talking about Paramount here, and I mean, for God's sakes, they literally didn't greenlit this show. Not Fionna and Cake, but Adventure Time, because apparently I don't remember what it was. Was it too wacky or something? But then you freaking make Fanboy and Chum Chum, which, by the way, that show sucks. I mean, no offense to people. If people like it, that's fine. But I hate that show. That show is so ugly and so stupid, and it's wacky and all in the wrong ways. I mean, it's not wacky like Adventure Time, but I don't know. I don't remember what the reasons was, but it had similar reasons to Fanboy and Chum Chum, and it was stupid like that. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they'll bring it back or not. But also, they're another thing that's stupid too is they are gonna spend $110 on, or $110 million, or not billion, sorry, not, yeah, $1 billion, on it. I think it was I thought it was $111 billion or something like that, but it says $110 billion. But that's still ridiculous, though. That's freaking way more than what Disney spent on Fox, and, even then, I'm like, that was still a lot of money. That was too much. I think Disney spending money on that was stupid, but this is even worse. I don't know if it goes through. I don't know if it's gonna go through or not. That's the thing. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I think it's a little bit better than Netflix. I still don't like seeing these companies merge together like this, but honestly, the way Warner Brothers is, I'm kind of I think it's probably best that they just merge with something, but, I'm just with Paramount, spending so much money on this, I don't know if that's a good idea, but, I don't know. But that's a story, I've already talked about before, and, my other videos, but, yeah, I don't know, but we'll see if it gets a season 3 or not, but yeah, I guess in total, I don't know how I'd rank this season. I meant to, put a card on this, and I forgot as the total, but I'm thinking this season, or this show, I think this show actually gets, I think it would get 100 points, giving it a score. I think 100 points is pretty good. I also messed up the the date up there too. I do want to apologize to that. I've been really stressed out lately too. My grandpa is dying and all of that, and there's a lot of stuff going on, so yeah, I screwed the date. It's supposed to be 2025, not 2026, but I screwed that up there at the top. It's supposed to be October and all that. But yeah, I think it was October when it started. Alright, that's when it came out. But yeah, I messed up that. I meant to put that on there and forgot. Totally forgot to actually do that. So yeah, I am sorry. But yeah, people make mistakes like that sometimes. It happens. But yeah, I'm gonna try next time to make sure I put the right date on there too. But anywho though, I am gonna go ahead and let the video go though. But yeah, this show is not that bad. This show is pretty good. Yeah, season 2 was way weaker than season 1, but I feel like, with season 1 being so good, and season 2, bringing back, Firm and all that, and I do like we get, like, a side story of, like, the Cosmic Owl and all that, and who's voiced by a different actor, because the original actor passed away, too, so may he rest in peace. Well, actually, he wasn't the original, but there was actually a couple different voice actors for him, too. The other one, I think, might be still alive. I can't remember. He was the first voice actor of the Cosmic Owl. The second one, which was probably my favorite, was the one that passed away. But he was older, so at least he lived a long life, so. But, yeah, may he rest in peace along with my grandpa, But I'm going to go ahead and let the video go. But I will see you guys all later, and I'm going to try to remember also to put the Adventure Time thing in the link in the descriptions for you guys, so you guys can see it. I guess if I forget it, I can just just edit it in there too, but I don't know. But anywho, tell me what you guys think about this show and all that, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.